Hey, John, it is so great to hear you're firing up the practice again. Listen, I wanted to put together this quick explainer for you because something huge has changed while you were away. Seriously, the way clients find a professional like you, well, it's a whole new ballgame now. Let's dive right in.
First off, just think back to how it used to work, right? A couple of years ago, you'd have your great website, you do a little work on your Google ranking, and boom, clients would search, they'd find your site, click, and call. Pretty straightforward. You were basically a pin on the big digital map. Well, John, that map, it's been completely torn up and redrawn.
Okay, so this is the absolute biggest shift you need to wrap your head around. We've moved from what I call a digital map model to a digital concierge model. Before, people were looking for a location, your website. The whole goal was just to get on that map, to rank high. Now, people ask an AI for an answer, for a direct recommendation. The goal isn't just being on the map anymore, it's being the one place the concierge sends them.
So what does this all really mean? Well, we've basically gone from a world of information retrieval to one of synthesis. That might sound a little technical, but it's simple. The old days of search engines just handing you a list of links, a bunch of places for you to go check out, those days are over. Now the AI does all the checking for you.
Here's the absolute best way to picture the old system. For 2 decades, Google was a librarian, a really good one. You'd walk in and ask, hey, where can I find info on small business tax deductions? And the librarian would point and say, sure, right over there in aisle 7. They'd point you to a whole shelf of books, the search results. But, and this is the key part, you had to pull down all the books and do all the reading yourself.
And this is the new world. Today, the AI is not the librarian, it's your personal research assistant. It goes to that same aisle, but instead of just pointing, it reads every single book for the user. Then it comes back and hands them a perfect one-page summary. Now that last line is the real kicker here. If your book, your website, is confusing or hard to read, the assistant just skips it. It completely ignores it. It doesn't matter if you're on the shelf if you never make it into the final summary.
Okay, so that's the big idea, the concept. But let's get real and look at the hard data because, John, this is not some 5 years from now trend. This is happening right now. And honestly, the numbers are pretty sobering.
First up, Gartner, a huge research firm, is predicting that by 2026, which is right around the corner, the total amount of traffic from search engines is going to drop by 25%, a full quarter. The entire pie is actually getting smaller because people are just getting their answers straight from AI chatbots instead of clicking through to websites.
And this is exactly why. We are seeing a massive rise in what are called zero-click searches. That's when someone searches, gets their answer right there on the results page from an AI summary, and never clicks on a single website. As you can see, it's already the majority of searches, and it is climbing fast. Your potential client gets their answer without ever knowing your practice even exists.
Now this one, John, this one is crucial. Even if you do everything right by the old rules, you nail it and get your website ranked #1 on Google, if an AI answer appears above your result, your clicks can drop by a staggering 79%. Being at the top of the map just doesn't guarantee you get the visitors anymore.
So, the takeaway here is that the casual browser, the person just clicking around, is gone. They've been replaced by the prompter, a user who asks a direct question and expects an immediate, perfect answer. The entire way people discover you has changed.
But look, it's not all doom and gloom, I promise. It just requires a new playbook. The focus is no longer on search engine optimization, or SEO. The new game is all about something called generative engine optimization, or GEO. This is the key to your new strategy.
So what in the world is GEO?
Well, it's simply the art and science of making sure your expertise is so clear, so authoritative, and so well structured that the AI research assistant chooses to cite you in its summary. See, it's not about ranking your site anymore. It's about becoming the source of the answer.
This table breaks it down perfectly. With old-school SEO, you were targeting a human by trying to please an algorithm. The goal was to rank #1. With GEO, you're targeting the AI model directly. The goal is to become the cited source. So the focus shifts completely, away from keywords and backlinks to proving your genuine expertise and authority.
So how do you actually do this? It really comes down to 3 pillars. First, earned authority. Getting other reputable sources like a local business journal to quote you is now way more powerful than just tweaking your own website. Second, structural fluency.
Your site needs to be written in simple, direct language that a machine can easily understand. And third, data. AI has to get hard numbers from somewhere. If you can be the source of original data, say, by publishing a small report on local business tax trends, the AI will have to cite you.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a lot of work for fewer visitors. And you're not wrong. But here is the most important and, frankly, the best part of this entire shift. It's no longer a game of volume. It's a game of value.
Let's call this the traffic/conversion paradox. Think of the AI as a giant filter. It's handling all the basic, low-intent questions itself. That's the 80% of traffic you're no longer getting. But let's be honest, those were the tire kickers, the people who weren't ready to hire a CPA anyway. The 20% of visitors who do get sent to your site are the ones with serious specific needs. They are highly qualified.
In other words, John, the visitors who find you now are essentially pre-sold. The AI concierge has already answered their basic questions and pointed them to you as the expert solution. Your website's job isn't to educate from scratch anymore. Its job is to build trust and close the deal with a prospect who's already informed. You get fewer visitors, but much, much better leads.
So, as you rebuild your practice, this is the single most important question to ask yourself. Forget the old rules of ranking. In this new AI-driven world, is the expertise on your website presented so clearly, so authoritatively, that a machine, a digital research assistant, would feel confident recommending you as the definitive answer? Because that is the new path to your next client.